Let me tell you a story about an equipment trainer named John. John works for a high-tech supplier, hyper engineering, logistics, and products. That's HELP for short. He is asked to provide an on-site course for clueless technologies. They want a 5-day advanced troubleshooting course as soon as possible. And don't they all? Well, John arrives on site and meets his class of the 4 clueless technicians. As the first day of the advanced troubleshooting class gets underway, John discovers that the technicians in his class cannot use a digital voltmeter. Thing is, using a DVM is a prerequisite task for his course. Not knowing what else to do, however, John completes the week of troubleshooting training as best he can, and he leaves the factory. Time passes. Inevitably, the hyper-engineering machine develops an error and shuts down. The technicians spend a lot of time trying to fix it, with no success. Management steps in, frustration grows. Come on, you guys, you just went through the training. Of course, the manager does not know that little of the training was effective because the technicians were unable to learn during the course. Still, that does not stop the technicians from trying to recalibrate the machine. Yikes! Well, as you might expect, the situation gets worse. At this point, the manager at Clueless Technologies calls the supplier.
Hyper Engineering Customer Service.
The clueless manager complains bitterly to the supplier. He claims that the training class was no good. He demands a different trainer come and teach the class again. He demands that his machine get fixed for free, since the training was useless. So Hyper Engineering sends another trainer, and the course is repeated. Sadly, the failure to manage prerequisites is also repeated. Again, time passes. Again, the machine is down hard with no chance of a repair by the clueless employees. Finally, the manager at Clueless Technologies decides that machine cannot be fixed no matter how much training we get. Hyper-engineering machines are junk. And we are not buying from them again, and that is final. So that is why prerequisites must be identified and enforced. Well, that story was a bit on the humorous side, but has a lot of truth to it. Here's the condensed version. If they don't meet the prerequisites, they don't learn. And if they don't learn, they don't perform. And if they don't perform, then the training and or the trainer is very likely to be blamed. And in the worst case situation, eventually the equipment itself is blamed. Of course, none of those outcomes are what we want to take place, and it certainly is not going to be a good reflection on our company or on our equipment, and certainly not on our training. So that's why a key characteristic of effective equipment training is that prerequisite tasks are identified and their enforcement is carefully managed. That's one of 7 key characteristics of what I call performance-based equipment training, PBET for short. If you'd like to know more about effective equipment training, please visit my site at mrpbet.com.